How's it going, everybody? Thank you for checking my channel. Welcome to today's video. Today's gonna be a build guide, but because society has the mentality of
F the patriarchy,
so I'm gonna focus on a matriarchal character for this video, and with the Erin we're gonna choose to farm with this build is gonna have PETA not only livid, but fuming at the mouth. It is hopefully gonna encourage a duet written about me by that vegan teacher featuring Erin from Jubilee. And that is gonna be the cow running Javazon.
Is it vegan? I wouldn't be vegan.
No, it's definitely not. Let's go ahead and get out of here and get into this video. For the attributes, because I am playing softcore single player offline, I went with the max vitality setup, meaning just enough strength and dexterity to equip your gear, and dump the rest of the points into vitality to boost her health up, giving her over 1700 health before battle orders. If you feel you're gonna have an issue with survivability, what you could opt for is going with a max block setup, especially if you're playing hardcore. What you're gonna do is you're gonna put enough points into dexterity when you hover over defense, and you're gonna see that it has 75% chance to block, and then you're gonna put points into strength to be able to equip your gear, and then dump the rest into vitality. Unfortunately, her resistances are low, but this is just for going into the Moo farm, so resistances aren't a big enough deal to really worry about. For the skill trees, I'll start off with the bow and crossbow skills as there's no points invested into it. Moving to the passive and magic skill tree, I put 1 point leading down to decoy as it is a great skill to keep the cows distracted and to have them group up to throw your javelins into. From there, I just put 1 point leading into pierce to pair with one of the items that she's wearing, which I'll go over shortly. The last skill tree is the javelin and spear skill tree, where I maxed out lightning fury and charge strike, the two main skills that we'll be using. Lightning fury for the crowds, and charge strike to take out the stragglers or small groups as a damage. With all the synergies used, gives charge strike up to just over 8300 lightning damage for every one of the charge bolts released, and up to just over 3100 lightning damage for every one of the bolts that comes off the initial impact of the skill. I went and maxed lightning bolt and lightning strike, and the remaining points put into power strike. Of these three skills, it is not as important as to which one is maxed out and which one isn't. As long as 2 of the 3 are maxed, with the third one getting the remaining points, they're all going to be used to synergize with our 2 main skills on this build. For the inventory, starting from the top, she's using a Griffin's Eye. I haven't found a good lightning facet to use yet, but of the 2 varying stats on Griffin's Eye, the negative lightning resistance is maxed, and that's the more important stat to have better rolled. The amulet is High Lord's Wrath for the plus to skills, IS boost, and deadly strike. For the body armor, I'm using Fortitude as I could use Chains of Honor, but I wanted more damage overall, and it still has a boost to resistances, so I'm not really losing much with that. The javelins are Thunderstrokes. Not only do they add more IAS, but they have the ability to help reduce the enemy's lightning resistance more when pairing that with my Griffins and the weapon for the Mercenary that he's using, adding more damage. Titan's Revenge is my personal favorite to use because of the replenishment mod on it, but for the cow level, I want to be able to throw the javelins and do as much damage as possible before having to repair them. I'm using a Spirit Shield for better help with resistances, boost to plus to skills, as well as a little bit of help with faster hit recovery. For the rings, I'm using an SOJ paired up with a dual leech ring that has some life and mana on it. The belt is Razor Tail, which works with the Pierce skill to be as effective in AoE damage as possible from the Lightning Fury throws. She's wearing 220 blood gloves, and the boots are Sandstorm Treks for the faster hit recovery boost, faster run walk, and the increased strength and vitality, helping me to shift more points into vitality to make her more of a tank. On Switch I have CTA and Spirit to buff up her and the Mercenary's health. In the inventory I have Javelin and Spear skillers and 20 to life small charms, as well as my Torch and Nanny. This character has no magic find on her because, if you're familiar with Retro Mandric, if not, you definitely should be. He's a Diablo 2 YouTuber that would actually opt out of having magic find on his characters, depending on the build, if he had roughly about 200 or less, because he felt that it wasn't worth it, comparatively speaking, to opting for more damage. And he actually has found some of the best items in the game with 0% magic find, including a Death's Web. That was my inspiration for this build, but if you want to take out some of the items to swap out for some magic find, you'll have to start considering taking out some of the skillers and the 20 to life small charms to have a decent amount of magic find. But the way that the build is set up right now is to be able to handle players 5 through 7 cows with a good amount of clear speed. So adding some magic find is going to reduce the damage you do, so you're going to have to consider swapping down the player's difficulty to be maybe 3 at most, but 1 would be comfortable for a good mix of magic find and clear speed. For the Mercenary, he's using a Vamp Gaze for life leech and damage reduction, Fortitude for both enhanced damage and defense, life boost, as well as help with his resistances. And his weapon is Infinity, as this is crucial for helping break through an enemy's lightning resistance everywhere else in the game. All the cows except the Cow King and possibly a boss pack will not have lightning immunity. However, it's still a great weapon to use aside from the Conviction Aura with all the useful stats on it, and if he makes any of the kills, he would be the only source of magic find because of this weapon. He is also a Holy Freeze merc for crowd control. I will use Decoy as needed for giant packs of cows, but usually his Holy Freeze aura is enough to keep the cows at bay for me to line up a throw and quickly start killing them off. For those of you that want to actually kill the Cow King instead of just sticking with the regular cows, do understand that the Cow King is going to be lightning resistant, which is unfortunately not going to work for the skills they're going to be using on this build. However, there are a few different ways that you could choose to bring down his physical resistance to be able to make it easier to kill him besides just simply jabbing to death, with the base damage on T-strokes not being a lot to be able to kill him within a reasonable time, or even just switching over to Plague Javelins. Because using Infinity on your Mercenary is unfortunately not going to be able to break his lightning immunity. And the few different ways you can do so are Reaper's Toll on the Mercenary for the Decrepify proc to be able to lower his physical resistance, Atma Scarab with the amp damage proc to be able to bring his physical resistance down even more than Decrepify would, or you can use the new Crack of the Heavens Grand Charm to be able to sunder lightning immunity, which will be available when the new patch 2.5 goes live on October 6th, and for single player, I'm hoping someday at least. This build doesn't center around the idea of him actually being important to kill, as this is mainly for being able to collect your runes and the bases to be able to make the endgame rune words that you desire. However, those are a few options for any of you guys that are playing single player offline. I don't know about you guys, but I'm feeling kind of hungry, and it is still summertime here. So let's fire up the grill and start cooking.
Move! Hello, cutie pie.
I am overburdened.
It's just terrible! So sad. We're not going to keep doing it!
Even death can save you from me.
And that's going to do it for the video. Always a fun time to visit the Moo Moo Farm because there obviously is no secret cow level, and those burgers were just perfection. And I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you like this kind of content and want to see more, hit the subscribe button and hit the bell notification to be notified whenever a new video comes out.
Come on. Come on. Come on, then. There you are. There you are.
And if you enjoyed this video, please let me know by leaving a like. It really is appreciated to be able to help my channel to grow. And if you want to watch more of my Diablo 2 Resurrected content, there's going to be a card in the corner up above for you guys to go check out. There's already a lot of content in the playlist that you'll see, with a lot more coming in the very near future. Other than that, hope you're all staying safe, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Take care.